Hey, Shalom, Israel. All praises due to Yahweh, 𝙱𝚗𝚗𝚒𝚗𝚒, 𝙱𝚗𝚒𝚒𝚗𝚏, the born city apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well over the flock. Shalom, salutation to all you brothers out here, pushing the words of truth and sincerity. I'm Rapah Muff, and I got some good feedback on the last video I did right here. It's called Graduating from Low Self-Esteem and Other Toxic Personality Traits. I made that for the brothers, basically going through what I went through in my first 5 years of being in this truth. It was all about having low self-esteem, and I really I didn't think much of myself at that time, but through the Spirit of the Lord, he completely changed me, man. You know, through the Spirit of the Lord, in all humility, the Lord gave me a lot of self-esteem over the years, and that's due to the mercy and grace of the Father and the Son, who we serve. And so real quick, I'm going to grab Romans 12 to back it up, because this is going to be like a part 2 to that video. Romans 12:5 says, "So we, being many, are one body in Yahushua, and every one members one of another, having then gifts differing according to the grace that is given to us. Whether prophecy, let us prophesy according to the proportion of faith." So everything we do is according to the measure of the proportion of faith that we have. And these are the different gifts, some of them. It says, or ministry, let us wait on our ministering. So you also have servants who are not prophets, who are still down with the fold, are part of the elect, and to the portion of their faith, they should be ministering to the saints. It says, or he that teacheth on teaching, or he that exhorteth on exhortation. So that's what I'm going to focus on right now, is the exhortation part of it, because what happens is stress gets to you. All right. Now here's an article from helpguide.org that says stress signs and causes. I'll read a little bit of it, because stress really is one of the key factors in why nothing might go your way, or why you're kind of in a rut, why, you know, through the Spirit of the Lord, you stuck. All right, so it says, let's get to some points. It says, what is stress? Stress is your body's way of responding to any kind of demand or threat. When you sense danger, whether it's real or imagined, the body's defense kick into high gear in a rapid automatic process known as fight or flight reaction, or the stress response. All right, so that's a little bit about stress response. Now, fight or flight response, what happens in the body. So when you get stressed is what happens. It says when you feel threatened, your nervous system responds by releasing a flood of stress hormones, including adrenaline and cortisol, which rouse the body for emergency action. Your heart pounds faster, muscles tighten, blood pressure rises, breath quickens, and your senses become sharper. These physical changes increase your strength and stamina, speed up your reaction time, enhance your focus, preparing you to either fight or flee from the danger at hand. The effects of chronic stress. Now, this is what I brought this article out for. It says your nervous system isn't very good at distinguishing between emotional and physical threats. If you're super stressed over an argument with a friend, or a work deadline, or a mountain of bills, your body can react just as strongly as if you're facing a true life or death situation. All right, so that's one thing, is that your body don't know the difference. And it says if you tend to get stressed out frequently, like many of us in today's demanding world, your body may exist in a heightened state of stress most of the time. So you can actually be walking around always and constantly stressed, which is called chronic stress. It says chronic stress disrupts nearly every system in your body. It says it can suppress your immune system, upset your digestive and reproductive systems, increase the risk of heart attack and stroke, and speed up the aging process. It can rewire the brain, leaving you more vulnerable to anxiety, depression, and other mental health problems. Chronic stress, meaning being stressed all the time, is not good for you. It's shutting down your body, it's shutting down your mind. You're not able to think and process normal thoughts and act normal. And it's going to mess with your confidence. So health problems caused or exacerbated by stress include depression and anxiety, pain of any kind. And these things is things I dealt with when I first came to this truth. It's just all type of depression, just moody, real moody. If you ever been called moody, or if you're dealing with that, that's because of stress, man. Stress is what brings you up and pulls you down, Now, this society ain't anything worth being happy over all day long. It's plenty. The scriptures tell you Lot was vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked. We got scorn for the times, if not more than anybody. So we're going to be dealing with stress majority of the time. We just got to realize that chronic stress ain't going to help us out in the long run. So you got to have some type of balance to this thing. So it says chronic stress brings depression, anxiety, pain, and of any kind, sleep problems, autoimmune diseases, digestive problems, skin conditions such as eczema, so you can even break out. It says heart disease, weight problems, reproductive issues, thinking and memory problems. Signs of symptoms of stress overload. Most dangerous thing about stress is how easily it can creep up on you. You can get used to it. It starts to feel familiar, even normal. You don't notice how much it's affecting you, even as it takes a heavy toll. And the reason I brought this out is because sometimes the spirit of the Lord, I humbly say, to see if a brother is really going through stress, and I ain't even really got to ask him. I mean, it'll come out in his tone of voice and whatnot, but through body language and mainly through the eyes, man, looking into men's, people's eyes, I could tell if somebody really stressed out. I could tell if they in a bad mood. I could tell if they trying to get over it, if they trying to hide it, whatnot. And so, long story short is, the stress ain't good for you. You just gotta start working on. You gotta get out of this familiarity you have with it, because once again, it causes memory problems, inability to concentrate, poor judgment. It makes you see on the negative, anxious or racing thoughts, constant worrying. It gives you depression, anxiety, moodiness, feeling overwhelmed, loneliness, isolation, other mental and health problems. Now, once again, I'm gonna bring out another scripture to show you why I'm going into these type of things, because 1 Thessalonians 5, Paul told the church at Thessalonica, wherefore comfort yourselves together and edify one another, even as also ye do. And so to comfort a brother is not just to put money in his pocket, but it's also to let him know how he could prevent certain stressful and bad states that he could possibly in, and how to prevent it, how to, the worrying and the anxiety and the negativity that certain brothers might have, and it's become normalized over time, and moodiness, and it says feeling overwhelmed, loneliness, everything that comes with basically lack of self-esteem can be caused by stress. And if not adjusted to change, you're just going to be that type of guy, and you're going to think, because it's been so long, that you're that type of guy. So once again, 1 Thessalonians 5:11 says, wherefore comfort yourselves together. So this is the body. We're supposed to comfort the body. If the hand hurts, don't your other hand go ahead and grab it. If your knee is wounded, don't your hand go ahead and rub it, So that's how the body works. There's not the blood. The heart doesn't keep all the blood for itself, but it pumps the blood through the rest of the body so that it can nourish the entire body. And so all of your body need oxygen, need blood to survive. So everything pretty much depends on the heart, and the heart depends on the brain, and the brain depends on the nervous system. Everything functions together. So that's how a good, healthy body is. But when your body isn't working correctly, when your body is lacking because of some type of stress, all right, and all these symptoms is going down, well, the body's just going to not work together. It's just going to be inadequate. It's not going to be up to the fullest potential, and you ain't going to be up to your fullest potential. So these are different symptoms and signs to show you that stress is not something you want. Stress is not something you want to take lightly. All right, physical symptoms: aches, flus, diarrhea, chest pains, loss of sex drive, frequent colds. Behavioral symptoms: all of this is caused by stress, man. All right, and so let's get one thing you could do. Matter of fact, I think it gives you some things you could do. Now, I would first and foremost promote more reading, a healthy reading of the scriptures, and a healthy studying, not just reading so you fall asleep. Reading, but studying, going behind the words, going deeper into the words, really connecting, going into the precepts, reading the whole scriptures, reading the scriptures you never read before, constantly working on yourself. And then, let's see here. Here's some other things you could do. That through the Spirit, I've always listened to like self-help books, and so I'm kind of like prepared for this. conversation as well. So this says building your self-confidence, right? Preparing for success. And it's really going into how to make it in Esau's world, but you could switch it over just to make it into how to deal with everyday stressful situations. It says, what is self-confidence? Self-confidence is understanding that you trust your own judgments and abilities, and that you value yourself and feel worthy regardless of any imperfections or of what others may believe about you. So it does not matter what somebody outside, all right, especially the body, believe of you or think about you. You can't let your imperfections override you. You can't. You have to trust in the fact that the Lord is dealing with you, and He gave you a respectable amount of faith and judgment and value. And so it's okay to feel humility and humble, but you also have to have a form of confidence. The Lord said He didn't give us the spirit of fear, but sound wisdom, sound understanding, sound mind, which is confidence. All right. So self-esteem, self-efficacy, look all these words up. Confidence of behavior, because when you have confidence, this is what you have. You're doing what you believe to be right, even if others mock or criticize you. So you stand up, you have integrity, you don't fold. If you have low confidence, it says governing your behavior based on what other people think. So you see now, if you have a low confident person, you're going to worry about what other people think, because your whole behavior, you're a people pleaser. Everything you do revolves around what other people think about you. And that ain't healthy, man, especially in our line of duty, our line of work, which is telling the truth constantly. We got to deal with people screwing up their face, family members, verbal attacks and whatnot, trying to come for our confidence and bring our confidence back down so that we can be governed by what other people think. All right, but if you have a confident behavior, it says being willing to take risks and go extra mile and achieve better things, admitting yourself your mistakes and learning from them, waiting for others to congratulate you on your accomplishments. It says, and instead of extolling your own virtues as often as possible to as many people as possible. Yeah, you're trying to work hard to please people, to fit in and doing all of this when you have low self-esteem. You stay in your comfort zone when you have low self-esteem. You fear failing. You avoid risk. All right, you cover up your mistakes. All right, hoping nobody notices your mistakes. And so you live a real scary life when you got low confidence. It says, as these examples show, low confidence can be self-destructive and it may manifest itself as negativity. Self-confident people are generally more positive. All right. So that's the gist of that, man. I mean, another way you could confident people appear is body language. They always standing up straight, right? Head straight, face-to-face communication. They'll look you right in the eye. A lot of people, sometimes brothers, very few, will not even look you in their eye. Kind of look away, look down. Hey, man, build your self-confidence, man. We all amongst each other imperfect anyway, and so especially as you come to this truth and learn how important the brotherhood is and communication is, you're supposed to, all your hidden things begin to be revealed anyway. And so through communication, through body language, you're sharing with each other. You're not timid or shy of each other. We're assertive to each other. We want the best for each other. All right. So it starts by set yourself some goals, confidence goals. You know what I'm saying? It gives you a lot of good pointers in here. I suggest brothers go back and read it. Building confident habits, making achievements, and it gives you a lot of good points in there. Another article I found is 5 ways to turn your mistakes into a valuable lesson. Sometimes when you go through things, man, that you let that eat you up. You can't be that type of Jake that lets your past mistakes eat you up, man. Everybody got a past. And so your past shouldn't define you unless you've learned from it. If you have learned from it, then more the reason to bring up the past, because you could bring up what you learned. You could bring up the valuable life lessons. It says here, self-discipline is like a muscle. Each time you delay gratification and make a healthy choice, you grow mentally stronger. All right. So let's see what it says. Making some mistakes over and over can be costly in more ways than one. Perhaps your team has lost faith in you because your behavior doesn't match your words. Or maybe your errors have cost you or someone else a lot of money. The good news is you can take steps to learn from your mistakes, and instead of repeating them again, you'll gain valuable wisdom that will help you in the future. Here are 5 ways to learn from your mistakes. First, acknowledge your errors. The scripture says, confess your faults one to another. So this is hand in hand with the scriptures got to say. I'm not telling you anything that you can't find in your word, in your sword. And so communication, man, godly communication is part of growing. It's part of being in this truth. It's part of being a part of the fold. It's part of ministry. It's part of exhortation. What I'm doing right now, godly discourse. Instead of telling you about, what LeBron James thinks about George Floyd and the passing of Black Panther, I'm giving you sound wisdom, which I received through the Spirit of the Lord. And walking around with a positive attitude is everything, man. You got people out here that they're held back because their lack of faith in themselves, their lack of confidence. They're held back. They won't join conversations. They won't take leaps and bounds. They won't start something new. They won't step outside their comfort zone because of that fear that comes along with not having confidence in yourself, man. I mean, look, man, if you're gonna fail big. The bigger you fail, the better you learn out of that. So number 1 is acknowledge your errors. And I agree with that, man. You got to be able to confess what you have done. You can't live in denial. Denial's a river in Egypt. You can't live there. All right, number 2, ask yourself tough questions. It said, what went wrong? What could I do better next time? What did I learn from this? Yeah, be your own best critic, basically. Really try to figure out what happened and the mistakes you made so you could learn from them. Says make a plan. Beating yourself up for your mistakes won't help you down the road. And that's what brothers need to come to terms with, is that you can't beat yourself up for all these mistakes, man. Things going to happen to you. Life going to happen to you. It's going to come at you fast. And you're going to slip up. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to be in situations where you should have never been in. But you got to learn from them. That's why this life is a journey. But you can always look back and appreciate some of the mistakes as long as you're learning from them. It says it's important to spend the bulk of your time thinking about how to do better for your future. All right. It says, part 4, make it harder to mess up. And this is something that once you're in the truth, you can learn from. I've learned a lot from. You make it harder, man. If you see a situation which you're going to get into a fight, you're going to get into a scuffle, man, you go the other way. You walk around, you cross the street. Simple as that. Make it harder to mess up. If you're not reading as much, man, you got to set your phone at 7 o'clock and then go ahead and pick up the book. You got to do things. You got to create around you a bubble that causes you to succeed in whatever it is you're trying to do. It says don't depend on willpower alone to prevent you from making an unhealthy shortcut or from giving into immediate gratification. Increase your chances of success by making it harder to mess up again. That's a real good clue. It says on number 5, create a list of reasons why you don't want to make the mistake again. Real good. Why you don't want to make the mistake again? Because it causes you lack of confidence and lack of self-esteem, or you don't like the way people looked at you. It could be anything, man. But you gotta be able to learn from your mistakes. 10 creative ways to stay positive. These are all articles y'all brothers can find online. You just type in the thing, and I know brothers is going through it. You know what I'm saying? Every week, I see a brother or two that's going through something. He don't gotta tell me what he going through. I just know he going through it. I send it prepared for you, but this video is for y'all brothers, positive attitudes, bro. You got brothers that walk around and they positive. Every time I see them, they positive. And you got, on the contrary, some that because of that stress, they're not in a positive situation, and they've normalized being what's the word? The opposite of positive is negative. You normalize being negative. So it says, while it's easy to fall into a slump based off one's negative experience, it could be just as easy to redirect your mind and instead focus on the hopefully more positive experiences. And that's real, because it's a lot of positive experience, especially when you're in the truth. You see positive and optimistic situations all the time. You interact with brothers who are very optimistic and positive about the future, positive about their role right now. And so you just got to take heed to it. See what you're saying. What you're saying is positivity. It says people with positive attitudes can remain hopeful and see the best even in difficult situations. And that's one of the greatest things I gained from, the Lord giving me from a negative to a positive attitude, that even when something's going wrong, I can see the positive right around the corner. So I don't get all unhopeful and dispelled and disheveled no more. You know, I stay positive, stay optimistic about it. It says, in the contrast, those with negative attitudes may be more pessimistic and disagreeable and typically expect the worst possible outcomes in tough situations. While having a positive attitude doesn't necessarily make you less stressed, it can equip you with the tools you need to cope with stress in a healthier way. Those individuals may not fear stress as something physically depreciating and dangerous, but as a means to a greater end. Other benefits include creating actionable goals based on dreams, making and maintaining more positive relationships, and even give your immune system a well-needed boost. Sometimes, you know, I've spoken to brothers who don't talk to their parents, like at all. Don't talk to their parents. Like, look, I along with you brothers, got situations with family members that, you know, it's a call. I could make the call and just be like, you know, to never speak to them again. However, it's more positive relationships that you're going to lose, you know, and it gives you an opportunity to heal something and to fix something. If you got an optimistic mindset, you're not thinking upon how bad it used to be or how bad it is. You're thinking about how good it can be. And always remember that, you know, whether it's family members or whatnot, at one point you had great conversations and great relationships with these people. So who's to say it can't happen again? That's about having optimistic energy out and just putting it out there. 10 creative ways to stay positive. Start a gratitude journal. You know, you could either do this or not, but you could do this in a smaller scale. You could just do it mentally. It says treat yourself to some self-care every day. Right? You might want to buy something for yourself. You make your money, you purchase something nice for yourself. Start every morning strong. That's good. Start every morning with prayer. That's what I say. Avoid spreading gossip. Yeah, you want to stay away from that type of mentality. The scriptures condemns that anyway. Crack more jokes. Hey, somebody with a good sense of humor typically is positive. Usually comedians is very optimistic, positive people. Take real breaks. All right, take real breaks. You take a break, whatever. Or not take a break, but, you know, have something to look forward to after work. Yeah, man, have a schedule, man. And personally, I like to work out. I like to exercise. I like to keep the mind sharp and the body sharp. Bodily exercise profiteth little. Well, that might sound like a negative thing, but to somebody who needs to profit a little, that's a positive thing. And ain't nothing but positivity and optimistic attitudes came from working out. Stress just leaves your body as soon as, you know, you hit the gym, as soon as you go running, as soon as you go jogging, as soon as you go take a walk, as soon as you do some push-ups. Stress just walk right out your body. All right, have something to look forward to. Have a little plan, you know. Practice meditation. You know, meditate on these scriptures constantly. That's what we doing. All right, Joshua 1:8. Meditate day and night on the laws, statutes, commandments, and the scriptures. All right, focus on long term instead of short term. That's a hella bonus right there. You know, uplift your spirit. Listen to music that matches your mood. Yeah, man, stop listening to hip hop and rap all day. You know, some of the negativity that you developed and normalized is because hip hop normalized negativity, and that's all you listen to. All right. I had a few more, man. You know, for the brothers that still listening, I'll just finish up. One more. So it says, why self-responsibility is key to being the best you. And this is the first article I actually found or wanted to bring out, but it came out last. But very important, man. I learned within the last even month how important responsibility is, man. Because what we learn in America is that you can have all this pleasure, no responsibility. But that's opposite. It says one of those key elements is self-responsibility. Some people believe that life happens to them, while others believe that life happens for them. The perspective you wish to adopt can drastically change your life for the better. If you're passively passing through your life thinking that life is happening to you, good or bad, regardless of what you do to change it, then you will never get out of your own way and make good things happen. You know, so it's just about responsibility. Responsibilities everywhere. Responsibilities in the truth. Responsibilities first and foremost in doing the work of the Lord. Responsibility covers how you deal with relationships and people and friends, family. Responsibility covers your job and your career where you gotta be at when you gotta be there. Take responsibility, man. I found that to work better for me than some of the best advice out there, man. Yeah, you're more control of the outcome than you think. A success is a matter of perspective. All right. How to take responsibility for your life. All right, so that's just I ain't gonna read too much on that for the sake of time, but that's also good. Thing to look into is the topic of responsibility and how that affects you positively. So, Lord, this video was edifying like the last one. Till next time, shalom.